Hey, thanks for joining us. We're continuing to follow the latest in a shooting that took place at the Augusta Mall this afternoon. We still have your Will Rio live near the Augusta Mall for us. We just want to let everyone know there is no longer an active threat situation, but sadly we do know that a 17-year-old is dead, 2 people in custody, with 2 more people that the sheriff's office is looking for. Will, you've been there all day when all of this unfolded. Just kind of catch people up to speed.
Yeah, so when we got here earlier this afternoon at around 1:30, maybe it was around 2 o'clock this afternoon, I mean, traffic, it was a mess over here trying to get to the Augusta Mall. The first thing that we noticed when we got off the exit was that there were Richmond County deputies blocking every entrance to the mall. Some of them had their long rifles out, as it was still unclear what exactly unfolded here at the mall. And then we were able to get close to mall property, and that's where we saw the extent of the response from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office and other first responders. I mean, we've covered mall shootings for at least the last 5 years, or at least the last 5 years I've been here. It was one of the most impressive responses I've seen, and extensive responses as well, just in terms of who was here. We saw the Richmond County Sheriff's Office, Richmond County Marshal's Office, of course, Richmond County deputies on scene. We saw them with huge trucks out here. We saw Richmond County SWAT out here in full tactical gear. So it was quite the response when we first showed up. Again, like you said, we do know that a 17-year-old has been killed as a result of the shooting inside the mall. This was not outside. Deputies tell us it was inside the mall. 2 suspects in custody, and then 2 persons of interest right now at the sheriff's office are currently looking for. So if you have any information on where they may be, contact the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. If you have any information, any videos, pictures about what happened during this shooting, I'm sure law enforcement would urge you to reach out to them with more information. But again, this is something we've been covering over the last 5 years or so. To give you an example of what we've seen, I'll give you a list of what we've covered going back to around 2020. We start in October of 2020. A man is shot and killed there, and another is actually shot in the leg. June of 2022, shoppers terrified after a man brandished a gun in the food court. April of last year, shots fired, injuring 1 inside Dillard's. And just 2 months after that, again, shots fired in July, injuring 1 person. That's not to mention, of course, all the false alarm calls that we get and that the sheriff's office gets, the latest one being in December here. So it's a conversation that's continued to happen over safety here at the Augusta Mall. People have been calling for metal detectors on social media. We know that there's AI weapons detecting systems that have been going into school systems, as we've seen school shootings happen all across the country here. So it's going to be a conversation that's going to happen. We've seen that conversation already happen with Augusta commissioners, but it's been difficult for them to address what's been going on because it's happening on private property, and the Augusta Mall is a private entity. So there's not much that the Augusta Commission can do because they don't really have much oversight over the Augusta Mall. So those conversations will continue to happen. But Zaina, you have more information. I believe you have more information about the 17-year-old suspect in this case. Do you want to read a little bit about what we just confirmed about that 17-year-old suspect, just so I don't get the facts mixed up with that?
Yes, Will, we have so many details. Just coming in not too long ago, just before our 6 o'clock hour, we did confirm the 17-year-old's name, Devin McClain. And we actually just learned within the last few minutes, we confirmed that the victim, Devin McClain, in today's deadly shooting at the Augusta Mall is the same person charged in connection to a shooting that happened back in June. The Richmond County coroner did identify, again, Devin McClain, and we did get the confirmation that McClain was charged with aggravated assault and possession of a firearm after a 16-year-old was shot over the summer in the Harrisburg neighborhood. We do want to note right now it's unknown whether today's latest shooting is connected in any way to that shooting that happened back in June in the Harrisburg neighborhood. So that's just really important to note. And also with the shooting today at the mall, this all stemmed from a fight. So we just want to kind of put all of that out here. This was not by any means a random shooting. This was a fight among these individuals. And again, like Will just mentioned, 2 people we know already are in custody, with the sheriff's office still looking for 2 others who they're calling persons of interest. So we don't have any details, names, descriptions of who or what those persons of interest look like. But once we get those, of course, we'll be able to pass that along. But the information we do have is concerning the 1 teenager that is now dead, 17-year-old Devin McClain. Will. And you were just mentioning about the response, Will, since you've been out there early. You actually have sat in meetings regarding the response and the training that the sheriff's office has. You know, we never want an incident like this to happen, but we do certainly want our first responders prepared for when it does.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm going to read some of the information that we received from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. So forgive me for looking down. I just want to make sure I get the information correct that's coming directly from the Sheriff's Office. We know so much of this information floats on social media, goes on Facebook or wherever, and it gets twisted around. So I just want to make sure I'm getting the facts right directly from the Sheriff's Office. But you talked about the response. The Sheriff's Office tells us that they were on scene within 90 seconds. Multiple units from the Richmond County Sheriff's Office and Richmond County Marshal's Office arrived on scene. Again, that's where they found that male victim and started CPR immediately with those initial units. So great work by the deputies to show up in a timely manner, a very quick manner to perform life-saving measures. They attempted life-saving measures on that male suspect that we now know is a 17-year-old. But you mentioned that we actually sat through training. Your Sydney Hood, your Meredith Anderson, and I all went to Richmond County's Media Day, where they actually went through what they go through with some of this training and how they prepare for active shooter situations, just like we saw earlier this afternoon. And this is what they trained for. This is a testament of their training, where they were able to show up and secure the situation, go through a very chaotic situation, locate those suspects, and then try to find them as well, and then also identifying persons of interest in this case too. So it really is a testament to their training and how they operate when it comes to situations like this. Again, they have no idea what they're walking into when they hear that shots have been fired. There's an active shooter situation at a mall on a Tuesday afternoon when people were out here with their families shopping. So again, I do want to reiterate that the Sheriff's Office tells us mall security did play an essential role in the response today. They say thanks to prior planning, security personnel quickly provided officers with video photos and suspect descriptions that were broadcast immediately to those responding officers so that they could try to figure out what they were looking for during that chaos when people were fleeing the mall. But Zaina, the lost part of all of this, it feels like, is the real victims. Not only is the 17-year-old shot and killed here, but all the other people that have to deal with the aftermath of an active shooter situation at the mall once again. So I know our Audrey Dickherber had a chance to talk to some of the people who may have been there, who may have had family or friends at the mall. Let's hear what they had to say.
And Will, I actually think we are going to have to share Audrey's story a little bit later, because we're going to have to end this stream in just a few minutes, as we are now going to go live to a newscast. But thank you for your perspective and staying out there all day for us and giving us kind of the situation from start to where we are right now. Just to kind of end things right now, if you are tuning in, we are continuing to follow this shooting that took place at the Augusta Mall. Reports just came in. It was after 1:15 this afternoon. We know that 17-year-old Devin McClain is dead. 2 people are in custody, with 2 others that are now being called persons of interest that law enforcement is looking for. We'll continue to keep you updated. We are about to go live on NBC 26, so you can continue to watch our newscast on 26 News at 7. And also we have all of the details from this incident online, so continue to follow there too at WRDW.com. We'll have more in just a few minutes on 26 News at 7.